Harrison, what is the first article of the new American Constitution?
That all men are not created equal. It's the responsibility of the government to render them so.
Indeed. Well, son, you are one of those men, and for all intents and purposes, I am the government. It's a simple procedure, really. We just create electronic blockages at certain points. The brain is forced to reroute messages and information around these blockages. The new routes require double or triple the time. All mental activity is slowed, and intelligence drops drastically.
No, it's all very puzzling for you. I'll try to explain as briefly as I can. As you know, since the Second Revolution, America has been striving to create a truly egalitarian society, a society of average people. Well, the problem is that to run such a society requires certain high administrative functions that the average person is simply incapable of performing.
You mean like senator or president?
Oh, good Lord, no. I mean, anyone with average intelligence or less could handle those. But it's the people who supervise the economy, who run the railroads, the airlines, the communications, manufacturing. Unfortunately, they can't be average. Now, surprisingly, there are very few of us in numbers. What is it, under 3,000, something like that?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jennifer?
Well, there's certainly nothing fresh or original in the concept. The writing is mundane, the acting is pedestrian. I like it. I think it would go really nicely Tuesday after The Neighbors.
I agree.
Oh.
There were a couple of pretty clever jokes here and there, but I'm sure broadcast standards can weed them out. Let's order 13. What'd you think of it, Harrison?
It was terrible.
Yes, they did a fine job.
I can't believe I used to watch this stuff.
Well, we all did. Even in the old days, television tended to descend to the level of the least common denominator. But now and then, shows of some quality would sneak through. Now, we, on the other hand, have made a conscious decision never to air anything that can't be appreciated by everyone watching. So we've been able to eliminate quality altogether.
Just what do you really think of our little world?
I think you've set out to create a just society, and you're doing it.
But, go on, I want to hear.
But it's hard to rationalize that in order to have perfect equality out there, we can do what we want in here.
Well, that's only because we happen to have been born with certain mental capacities. And if it's not equality, then at least it's equality of opportunity. And you're forgetting the sacrifices. No contact with our previous lives, no marriages, no children.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow.
Oh, I know. Always takes time. Any other concerns?
Well,
Oh, please.
it's just that anytime I listen to great music, I realize that our society will never produce any more of them. I know the Constitution says that it's the function of government to render all people equal, but still...
It saddens you? It saddens me too, Harrison. Oh, how it saddens me. Do you know this? It's Beethoven. The Emperor Concerto. Can you imagine how I must feel? Knowing that I'm striving to create a world in which no Beethoven will ever be born. But it has to be. Not just because of some words in a constitution. It has to be. Here, look. Bible tells us not to covet, but we covet nonetheless. It's in our damn genes. We covet not only our neighbor's ass possessions, we also covet his appearance, his talent, his intelligence. And once we covet, we hate. And when we hate, this is what happens. For thousands of years, this is what happens. So, if I have to choose between this and eliminating this, I'll put the gun to Beethoven's head myself. Here you go, Harrison. This is a copy. You watch it. Study it well. And what exactly do you think you're doing?
I'm starting the Third American Revolution. Maybe we'll get it right this time.
A revolution? All by yourself? And just how are you going to manage to accomplish that?
I'm gonna have a little chat with the country, the whole country.
Harrison, listen. I think we can put a stop to this. I could tell them that you did it to test our security. I could arrange it.
Yes, the perquisites of power, very egalitarian.
Oh, is that what this is all about? The idea that I intervened to save Philippa's life over 20 years ago. Is that the crime?
No, the crime is sacrificing 300 million minds in the name of fairness and justice when you and your friends feel free to violate it anytime it suits you. Make that 300 million in one now that your daughter's got tapioca for brains.
That was a tragic human error. But it doesn't undermine what we're doing here.
Yeah, well, what you're doing here is fucked. I mean, computer marriages and moronic television, electronic intrusions. You haven't made everybody equal. You've made them the same, and there's a big difference.
They're happy, Harrison. They're happy.
Yeah, well, I'm really fucking unhappy. And you know what? I like it. It's real. I feel alive.
We all admire what you're trying to do. Hell, there isn't a person here that hasn't thought about it, but it just isn't viable.
Harrison, if you don't open the doors, I can't guarantee your safety.
Yeah, and after I wake up this country, I can't guarantee yours.
Open the doors, please.
Sorry, it's showtime.
Yes?
This is Chief Administrator Claxon. I'd like to speak to the President, please.